Welcome back to Street Cred. In this episode, we're continuing our foray into the many vibrant, unusual and often unknown aspects of our streets. Streets are important conduits to parks and the recreation and socialisation they offer us. Both are important aspects of a happy lifestyle. Kathy Mitchell is one of Victoria's best regarded government planners. For her, streets and parks are invaluable assets with quite a profound value. Kathy, you've been in and around these beautiful Fitzroy Gardens for many years in your work capacity. Can you tell me why they're important to you?
I could see these parks out of my office window, and every now and again the park would call me and it would say, come on, de-stress, come for a walk. And so what I would do was explore all the areas within the parks, and I got to know them in such an intimate way.
Much research has shown that parks are really important for people's mental health. Have you had any experience of that or thoughts about that from your planning background?
Absolutely, and one of the things that I'm really advocating for is for newer developments to have larger parks. Why can't we replicate these beautiful spaces for those who are living in our newer urban areas?
There's a bit of a conundrum, isn't there, for developers, in the sense that you can't put Fitzroy or Treasury Gardens everywhere. Fitzroy Gardens is 26 hectares, Treasury Gardens nearly 6 hectares. They're huge amounts of space.
If you can't get a major park within your area, at the very least have a lineal park so that people can use it to go from A to B, or to do circuits, or to get their steps up, and to feel that they're looking at a whole range of different sort of uses. And you know, when we walk along here, at the moment we're at the back of the conservatory, Captain Cook's cottage is over there. If this park was just this alignment in front of us, we would still get benefit out of it. And the importance of lineal parks can't be underestimated, and it just creates significant opportunities for people to get out and about.
I'm interested in your comment about how this park has a number of parks within it.
I think parks have to cater for a whole range of demographic. I'd have to say Villarwoods Park at Armstrong is an excellent example of what I'm talking about with parks in a park, in that it has a number of spaces that caters for various cohorts. And it's well designed.
Yes, I've been past on a Sunday afternoon and seen it pre-chockers with very happy parents and kids. So Kathy, you mentioned about physical health, but what about the other aspect of mental health and the role that parks play in that?
No matter who you are, no matter what happens in your life, everybody experiences stress. The feeling of walking through a park like this and listening to the bird song, seeing the ducks, it can't be underestimated.
Whether it's consciously or subconsciously, we do know that being outside in nature helps us feel better.
Yes. What do you think about water? There's been concerns raised about access to water in parks in terms of potential injuries or worse with young children.
I think we should not try and design the danger out of the world because it's impossible. Water is the most wonderful element to inject in a park in all sorts of ways.
The therapeutic nature and basis of just looking at water or hearing it, to me, is an element that should always be retained.
Yeah.
And here we are in the middle of a 4 million person city, and we can see the buildings, but we can't actually see much else apart from green as we look around. It's incredible to have this asset.
And it's that ability to retreat from the busyness of the city or your home life or whatever and come out into a green space that can just give you that mental respite that you might need.
We need more of it.
Absolutely, well said.
So Levo, we're in North Fitzroy at Edinburgh Gardens, one of your favourite places, I believe.
I do love it. Eddie G, we call it. It's a beautiful community park. So you come down here, there's a wonderful sense of community no matter what you're doing, and there's so much on offer down here. People come down and picnic, they'll come down and set up tightrope walks between trees. Bands will get the instruments out and have a crack in a corner somewhere. And then you've got the cricket nets over there. You've got the dog park, which I particularly love, because we've got 2 dogs at home and we bring them here every day. No one is known by their actual name. It's Buffy's mum or it's Panda's dad. No humans have a name. We're all equal and it's all about the dogs, and I love that.
I think it's fantastic. And I've observed many parks from travelling around the globe, and we try and emulate in our parks because we'll build a whole community. So it's our responsibility to build that park, and we want to make it as action-packed as possible. It's a much healthier environment to be playing these playgrounds with dirt, sand,
Yes.
water, climbing trees, hitting
Yes.
splinters. That's fantastic.
That's it. You cannot injure yourself in a playground these days. I think about when I was a kid, playgrounds were engineering experiments. It was exposed tin and broken chains. It was blood, skin and bone as far as the eye could see, and not a parent in sight, and we were all desperate to go back the next week. It was fun.
Because you want the kids to be active, get them out of the houses, not on their iPads, etc. So I think it's really important that these great parks not only are well maintained and provided, but just continue to grow.
And as you're building parks, Rory, I imagine that you would have to deal with a number of local councils along the way. And having done 5 seasons of the TV series Utopia, I feel like the Working Gold team have really tapped in to some widely felt frustrations when it comes to dealing with the public service.
Utopia is one of the best shows I've watched. The accuracy of that show is actually very quite distressing, but I think it's actually getting worse. I think you could actually do Utopia Mark II. The timelines are taking longer, councils are more risk averse, worrying about the legals, worrying about the cost. We're trying to build a really nice local park at the moment.
Yeah.
The councils don't want a drinking tap. I don't know, kids are supposed to die of dehydration. They don't want bike racks. They want the parents to come and drive them down there instead, I assume. The worst of the whole thing is with a kickabout area, and we proposed goalposts, but they said we don't want goalposts because the kids will wear out the grass kicking from the one spot all the time. I mean, isn't that the idea, to get the kids out of the houses?
You don't want too much fun. You can't have people too happy.
So Lemmy, you travel the country doing gigs, whether it's on TV or private, but then you come back here to Fitzroy. Is this your spiritual home? What do you really love about it?
Rory, let me take you on Lemo's tour of Fitzroy.
Fantastic, let's go.
So you've got the Lawn Bowl's just here, great community centre. My wife and I have a little Christmas do here each year where we just invite a few friends, spark up a barbecue and play some bowls. It's a lot of fun. You've got Brunswick Street Oval over there, which is where Fitzroy used to play back in the day. So one of the things I love during summer, my son plays cricket down here after school on a Friday. So all the parents come down here, a couple of lazy drinks on a sunny Friday afternoon while the kids are playing cricket. It's good fun. This for me is a great mental health break. Dogs sitting up here, looking over this beautiful oval and just the fantastic Melbourne skyline right there. I just love it. For inner city living, it's a great reprieve from the close space in which we all live. I like to think Brunswick Street's the most famous and best street in the country. I love it. It's got an amazing history. The home of people from Squizzy Taylor to Alfred Deakin to Mary McKillip, saint, used to live on Brunswick Street back in the day. And it's a cultural and artistic hub as well. Very bohemian, loads of writers, actors, comedians, musos. So there's a great character, a great vibe. And I love the street art as well. I love going to Mario's, my favourite restaurant, full of locals all the time. Here we've got the iconic Punters Club. Now, when you come to the Punters Club, you have a punter's draft, just a pot for us old fellas, thanks. Fitzroy has, I think it's about 30 pubs. And you know one of the things I love about the pubs in Fitzroy? No pokies and no betting facilities in any of the pubs.
Perfect.
And I love that. The street and what's just around it on Fitzroy has plenty to offer.
Rory, I was driving in today to this beautiful village, and I think that's very much what it is. But the kids were being dropped off at school and the mums and dads were having a chat outside the school, and then I saw a few of them in the cafe when I went to get my coffee. And I think when you build a community, is that what you're striving for?
I think Armstrong is a defining moment in our whole career. It's the best project we've done. It's nearly 3,000 lots. 80% of our buyers are owner-occupiers, so they know they're here for the long term, they're here, they want to make friends, and we are sitting in the middle of a true community hub.
So for the uninitiated, what is a Greenfields community?
The Greenfields community is any development. It used to be a farm, and then we're now going to turn into a new community. As this was a farm, 17 years ago, we actually bought the first paddock. It launched 4 years later in 2012. So we've delivered like 2,700 lots now in the last 13 years.
What do you think then it is about Armstrong that makes it so special?
This particular location is halfway between the beach in Torquay and Geelong, so it's perfectly located. And the commutability to Melbourne is no different to living anywhere in Geelong, because you've got the ring road, so it's actually the same distance to Melbourne. as it is if you live in central Geelong. And just the hub itself, we've got a train station nearby, the Warren Ponds train station. It's about 1 kilometre walk. And the walk along Armstrong Creek itself to the train station is a wonderful nature walk. It really is quite spectacular.
I think another one of the keys to this whole community, it's how green it is. And when you're building a community, how much do you factor that in, allowing green space and wetlands?
Well, developers have got to give 10% space anyway, but because of Armstrong Creek, I think there's over 20% of the space here is public open space. This is the front wetland, so the water goes up, back down and back up, and then into the creek. By the time we've gone through that journey, like this water here will be just really clear water the other end because all these reeds are designed to absorb the nutrients.
And another thing that's quite striking is the sculptures. Why did you select those?
So we've got pelicans, we've got eagles, we've got cormorants. It's not over sophisticated, so people don't have to interpret the sculptures. It's all about nature and people just appreciate nature.
And one of the things I think that sets a Villawood community apart is the parkland and the ability to foster a sense of community by the people that use it.
One of our big sense of pride is our great parks. Behind us is the regional park. We spent $2.4 million building that. People regard it as the best park in Geelong, if not one of the best parks in Victoria. And people just flock down. If you come here on the weekends, it is packed. People having picnics. Sometimes we'll have things with food trucks, other events here. It is a real hub.
We've got 2 grandchildren and this park is just great for them because there are things here for babies that you can put them on the little swings, and there's like the flying fox and things for the bigger kids, and the grandparents and the parents can get the takeaway coffee from the cafe and go down there and watch the kids and everybody's happy.
Residents love it here. We've got one particular care worker and she calls it Pleasantville because when they came here with her husband, people just walked around, everyone said hello and everyone smiled all the time, and the degree of friendliness is incredible.
But you can't actually build that. So how does it happen?
It just happens organically.
Yeah.
The club comes and through that people form common interest groups.
There's a music club, there's an arts club, there's something for everyone here.
I do like the classes. Half of the year we have Tai Chi classes, and now we have the chair yoga.
We love the conversation group that we're having at the moment.
It's so nice to have different points of view to bounce around.
So you get swimming groups, tennis groups, play groups. There's a men's shed across the road. It's all done through Facebook groups. We don't control it. They just do it by themselves, so it's organic. So they just make that effort to become friends and look after each other. My favourite room in this entire club is the Parents' Lounge. So the parents can grab a coffee at the cafe, and from the Parents' Lounge, I call it the control room. They can see their other kids playing tennis or in the pool or mucking around at some other place around the club. You've got this visual contact with what all their children are doing at the same time with their little bubs on the carpet, and it makes it a really happy, safe place.
And it's also a great space for kids to have parties, and they can do swimming lessons. Like, it's a lifestyle centre, really.
You can have weddings, you can have 21st, you can have conferences. There's all sorts of things that happen.
I think from my own perspective as well, one of the hard things when you're raising kids is keeping them busy. And as you said, the club, with so much for them to do here, you might not have a swimming pool of your own, but you can come down here in summer and get around with all the other kids. My kids would love that.
The noise of kids running around the pool is sensational.
And what do you see is the future for Armstrong? What's the master plan?
So a true master plan community should have education, health, recreation as it does, but also employment as well, and a train station to go to Geelong or Melbourne.
I'm sure you couldn't have envisaged that type of scale around here as well.
We had hopes, but just didn't really imagine it would turn out so successful. And I think we probably underestimated how much people would really love living halfway between the beach and Geelong itself.
Well, when you talk about the beach and we're talking about schools and a sense of community and open space, all of that, I guess, goes to the mental health and the happiness of those who live here.
It does. This is an indoor mecca and an outdoor mecca. We've got many, many kilometres of walking space and running trails along the creek itself. There's 2 full-size ovals. We've got the best playground in Geelong. There's just so many things to keep people occupied physically, indoors and outdoors, that just makes them happy. And obviously happiness is the biggest contributor towards mental health.
I would definitely recommend the area. We've got great access to really good facilities. It's a beautiful place with great open spaces. You've got that space to come out, meet a friend at the park. It's been a fantastic place to raise our family, and we're going to be here for a long time.
When we launched in 2012, our second buyer was a family who had taken their 3-year-old down to the beach, and went down to Torquay, called in on the way back, saw it, and their 3-year-old said, "I want to live here, Mummy," and actually camped out for the next 3 days. They were the second buyer of a block of land in 2012.
Sold.
And it's been repeated ever since.
Amazing.
While most of us are familiar with the urban jungle, Andy Britton from the Geelong Youth Engagement prefers the real jungle of Papua New Guinea, where the street in this instance is the Kokoda Trail. Geelong Youth Engagement conducts treks along the trail that bring young people and their mentors into a meaningful, even life-changing experience.
Well, Andrew, thanks for coming along to this episode of Street Cred. We normally interview people from urban designers and people from the urban environment, but you come from a completely different walk of life, so perhaps tell us about your favourite street.
My favourite street is 96 kilometres long and it's called the Kokoda Track. Kokoda Track is physically hard, mentally hard and emotionally challenging, and it's a place that I can actually go and I can be at peace myself, but also have the opportunity to take many, many people and show them that experience, and the learnings they get is very, very important.
Well, I was certainly very privileged to do it with you in 223, and it's a life-changing experience.
It's such an incredible honour to be able to change one person's life in our lifetime. But when you actually come on the Kokoda Track, you can actually see those lives being changed daily. It actually, I think, hits home very much to every individual about maybe how good we have it at home, and some of those challenges that we do face at home, if you put into perspective, maybe they're not that great.
In Australia or anywhere around the world, the normal street has got curb and channel, footpaths, but in Kokoda the path's probably that wide. So perhaps we'll just talk about the terrain and the vegetation and the hilliness, etc.
The weather changes daily and you can't pick it. One day we may have 30 degrees, 90% humidity. The following day we might have 46 degrees and 100% humidity. So to walk the track in those conditions, you actually get to see a very hard, hot, dry track. But then on the flip side, it could be like we've had a huge thunderstorm come through and we'll be walking up a hill which may take us 6-7 hours and you can't see the track because when it rains in New Guinea, it rains.
It's buckets.
And you're walking the track basically blind, and you're obviously being very careful with every step you take.
And basically the steps are, well, there's tree roots. So when we did our training here, we keep twisting our feet different directions. We can see the sense of it. Then we get over there and saw exactly why we had to keep walking up steps sideways, frontwards, backwards, because that's what you're doing on these tree roots. It's a phenomenal experience. Just try and draw a parallel against our urban streets and our communities that we build. Walking into a village in New Guinea, their community centre, they have basically a clearing or a soccer pitch in the middle of their community, all the houses the way around, and everybody uses sport as a community binder.
Like you said, there's football fields or just big square vacant dirt basically. When it rains, it turns into mud like an ice skating rink. But at the same time, that's their meeting spot. You know, here in Geelong or other locations around our country, we're very much individuals, how we actually I suppose, relate to each other. You know, when you go to a village and you see the village work together, it's amazing. You know, they're all one. So that's a really good message for our young people to see how the community gets together and support each other.
What's an example of perhaps one of your highlights in your career of a kid you've come along to your group and how they've changed or how their life's turned better?
Great question. We've had 189 young people go through the program, another 27 this year. We've got people who have turned their lives around or just used us for a platform to be able to launch into adulthood. We had a young girl in our program a few years ago. She came on our program and she did what we asked, be a sponge and accept the opportunity. She did that. We actually asked her back last year in 2024 to come back on as a return student. She came back on, she was outstanding. The feedback we got, not from only young people, but more from the adults, how good this young lady was. She was good to lose. So this young girl is now working with GYE and she's involved herself to actually run a Kokoda program this year. So it just goes to show that one, we invest and we trust our people, and it shows the evolution that you can come on as a student and now, bang, you're back here helping us change other people's lives.
So Andy, these kids, they come I think along in March or so and train for the year, and then they do this trip and they just do form their own community, but you don't throw them back in the deep end afterwards. There is not a lot of ongoing support. Do you want to perhaps elaborate on what goes on after that?
We're not a churn and burn program. Like once you sign up for us, whether you're an adult or whether a young person, you're with us for as long as what you'd like, and we try to keep everybody engaged, not only during the year but when the program finishes. If you've been involved in the program, if the lights are on, the doors are open, it's your space. Simple as that. But our program's designed to be there for as long as what the young people need us for, and I'm talking years down the track.
So I just want to congratulate you and thank you for being part of Street Cred. You're not an urban designer, but I think you're putting far more into the community than all the urban designers put together. So well done.
Thanks so much for the opportunity.
So that's it for our latest episode of Street Cred. I hope you're enjoying our foray into the extraordinary tapestry of life attached to our streets and how important they are to us. Remember, a little street cred can take you a long way.